Yeah.
So you all want to know what thanatology means, right? Okay, Thanos, Thanos, means death. So it sounds terrible, but I really like death, dying, and bereavement. So that's, thanatology is the whole field of death, dying, and bereavement. So I'm a bereavement counselor. I work part-time in a hospital as a chaplain, and I'm 77, and I'm gonna keep working until I just can't find the patient's rooms anymore. Or I told my boss until my kids take my car keys away, which they've already threatened to do, but that's just not gonna happen. So I really wanna thank everybody for this honor. It's just a thrill to be here because I do live in Arizona, and I come back here and see all my friends, my family, my classmates, and I just wanna thank Bill and the committee for all the hard work. I want to introduce you to my family, my brother. My notes say my brother should be there, but he's over there. So I have my brother Mike, and that's that old guy right over there, okay? and my twin sisters, Mary and Margaret, right here. And my niece, Christine and Bruce, right here. And my boyfriend, Esway-Cugino. So, my children unfortunately couldn't come tonight because it just is really awkward during the week, and they're working and have kids and all those things. But I'm really proud of my kids. I wanted to raise them to be independent and strong people, and I probably overdid it a little bit because I can't even put a decent Italian guilt trip on them anymore. Just, you know, I tried, believe me. But our middle daughter, this years ago, she came home and announced that she was quitting college and moving to California to become a singer. Well, let me tell you, the guilt trips came out. After her dad said, "You're not going, young lady," and that's that, you know, Italian dad. And she says, "Well, I'm almost 21, Dad, or 18, whatever it was. You can't stop me." So anyhow, I remember the guilt trips because I've been guilted many times myself as an Italian Catholic woman. Double trouble there. So I just pulled out my best martyr voice and I said, "After all we've done for you." And she said, "Really, Mom, a guilt trip? You're above that." I didn't think I was above it, but so I wanted to tell you a little bit about my brother Mike, that old guy over there I mentioned. I have waited for this for a long time. I have the microphone, and my brother over there. He can do nothing, but he's been my tormentor, okay, all my life. It's probably because he was the firstborn and a boy in the Italian family, both sides, firstborn. And then I came along 4 years later and just destroyed his life. So he's been very creative in trying to torment me. So I just want to tell you a couple of things. When I worked at Ohio Bell after high school, I didn't have a car. So, you know, the male in the family had a car. So he would drive me to work. And I know you're thinking, well, you know, isn't that nice of him? But he would drive 2 miles an hour up 2nd Street, and I had to be to work, and I'd just say, "Mike, come on, you're maybe late, come on, come on." And nothing would make him speed up. So I thought, okay, I'm jumping out right now. So I grabbed the car door handle, and then he'd speed up, so I would die if I jumped out. So that didn't work. So he would do this every time he took me to work. He'd have that little evil smile on his face. Look at him now. That little evil smile, you know. Well, the best thing was one day I came home from work, and actually from high school, and I walked into the kitchen, and he was lying there on the kitchen floor with a knife stuck in his chest and blood oozing out everywhere on the floor. And I walked up to him calmly, stepped over his lifeless body, went to the refrigerator and said, "What's there to eat, Mike?" So he got up, he's so mad, you know, "Oh, darn," he says, and he takes the knife out that was really right here, you know, and he starts wiping the ketchup off. Can you imagine what a setup that was to stage something like that? Do you know how long it takes to get ketchup to come out of the bottle? So enough of him. I better be good because I'm living with him for 3 weeks while I'm back here. Just me and him in the house. God knows what's going to happen. So 60 years now since I graduated from Timken, and it's really impossible to believe. I loved high school. I loved Timken High, mostly because I had a cute boyfriend. Many of you knew Rick, my husband of 55 years. And it was just fun, high school. I had good friends, and a lot of my good friends are here. We've been friends all these years, some of them from grade school. And I don't know, Rick, well, he was a really great guy, and I started to bloom as an older woman. I didn't go back to school till I was almost 60. I got my bachelor's degree at 60, master's degree at 64, became a chaplain then, and then went on for a second master's, which I did not complete, but I almost completed it. So that was age 67, and I thought, what am I doing? It's a little crazy. So I stopped. So he was always supportive, and I really always appreciated that about him. He kept saying, well, you're just putting more tools in your toolbox. So I have all these tools now, so I have to work till I just die to use them all. But the teachers I remember most in high school were Mr. Alexander and Mr. Harold. And they didn't just teach choir, they taught values. Mr. Alexander, just by being who he was. And Mr. Harold, he taught values more overtly. And I just couldn't wait for that part of his class. But one of the most important lessons I learned, and my brother reminded me of it tonight, he was there, but I didn't realize it, but I learned a life lesson when I was a Rockette. I never forgot it. It became something like a life metaphor. So here's what happened. So another cute boy, not Rick, that was just another cute boy. So this other cute boy told one of my girlfriends that I was the best Rockette of all, that I danced the best. Well, that kind of pumped me up a little bit. So the next time we performed, for some reason it was at the Stark County Fairgrounds. And so there I was, just dancing my heart out, twirling my baton, filling it up in the air, catching it perfectly, and I was the best Rockette because that cute boy said I was, so I must have been, right? So anyhow, through all of this, suddenly I slip and fall and land in a big pile of horsemen. So great planning, right? Whoever gets horses on right before the Rockettes perform at the fairgrounds. So I'm sure you know the lesson, right? Don't get too proud. Pride precedes a fall every darn time. So, right? So this image has returned to me many times over my lifetime. When I've been too cocky or too sure of myself, or generally a pain in the neck or a pain in the, what's the name of it? Bill likes to say, a pain in the ass, I'll say it for you. So invariably I just would end up embarrassed and humiliated and criticized and really find myself down in that big pile of horsemen again. So that's my life lesson, one big one. Now, so there's no logical segue here, so I'll just say I'm changing the subject. So Gary and I saw a movie recently in Arizona, and one of the female characters said, my greatest fear is that I won't fulfill my potential. And I kind of nudged him and I said, me too. So honoring and developing my gifts and talents has been a driving force since 1979. When I was 40 years old and I had a really profound spiritual awakening. So since then, I've been paying really close attention to my life. I'm a writer, and I've heard some writers say, writing is my life. And though I love to write, writing is not my life. My life is my life. Since my experience all those many years ago, I've been living with intention. I've been trying to develop a beautiful life, and if I can write about it, that's all the better. But developing a beautiful life that is pleasing to God is the only important thing to me. It's the only thing that matters. So allowing myself to be vulnerable, authentic, grateful for everything, and to walk through life with an open heart is part of developing a life that God can use. So when you have an open heart, you can get hurt, right? And when you get hurt, you develop compassion. And when you develop compassion, God can use you. And God can use peaceful people also. So I guard my peace. I don't allow anyone to take it away from me. It's maybe for a short time, but not for very long, because it's too important. And I told you I work part-time at a hospital as a chaplain and a grief counselor. My patients and their families need me to be joyful, peaceful, and hopeful. And we need peaceful people in the world to be a counterbalance to all the tragedy and evil we see every day. For me, it's a discipline. It's about prayer and a mindfulness practice. So I can lose my peace when I look back and, with some regrets and think, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, we shouldn't have moved so much. I'm sure some of my family agree with me there. Or if I look forward and I worry about the future, which really I can't control. So what I try to do is I try to be totally present, and I try to pay attention to this moment. What a beautiful moment this is, right? Here I am with all of you. It's just amazing, and I don't want it to go by so fast. I want to look at all of you, and I just want to savor this moment. Because when I am totally present and paying attention to this moment, then I'm at peace. I'm not worried about the past, or regretting the past, or worrying about the future. I am totally present right now. And it's just a wonderful way to live. It's not easy, it's a practice, and it's a discipline. So one of the things I do is many times during the day I slow down and I say to myself, and I didn't make this up, I stole this from somebody, some writer, and it says, I am fully present, I am at peace, I am loved. So I'd like to end and ask you, would you like to do that with me? And I'll say it first, and I'll pause a little bit, okay? Okay, so I am fully present.
I am fully present.
I am at peace.
I am at peace.
I am loved.
I am loved.
Amen. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you.